Sparkplug Motorsports presents the A1GP World Cup of Motorsport in the final round, the United States Grand Prix. 9 races before this. Happy Christmas, everybody. Here are the results from last time out in Italy, where Falstad put himself into the title hunt today with a brilliant win in front of both of the Spanish drivers. That leaves him third in points, heading into the double points finale. B Dragon Sonic leads the way, and he's only 2 points up on Revo. Anything can happen, and it's a must-win scenario for Falstad. Team Italy lead the points, but 40 points being the margin between them and Team Nigeria. A win could mean everything on this crisp Christmas evening if you're watching in the UK. Touching down in Indianapolis for the final race. It's an amazing facility we've got here. Only started racing here in season 22 in Formula E, but it's already proved to be a mainstay. Packed racing, the likes of which you see nowhere else. The field almost constantly above 280 kilometers per hour. It's unbelievably fast, and you're gonna want to stick around to the end, because I'm sure something hectic, something unheard of is going to happen today. Falstad, the man with the outside title shot, he's 18 points down on points leader B Dragon Sonic, who hasn't been on the best run of form. Revo, the man with the momentum alongside Falstad. Revo 2 points down on Team Nigeria's finest. And it's going to be unbelievable to see. Here's the pole lap set by Revo, which is also going to serve as our track guide heading down into turn 1. It's a long opening corner. There's 8 corners to this track, by the way. It's just a very high-speed corner. No banking for this configuration here at Indianapolis. Sends you through that long turn into the kink of turn 2, and then onto the attack mode straight. There's only one usage of attack mode, and we often see that often gives major overtaking opportunities as they come through turns 4 and 5. And then 6, the chicane with the rights. Then they head through turn number 7, going through here. And Revo was using a lot of curb there. And then coming through the final corners of 8, the kink that leads you onto the main straight, where you can then start another lap. Should be 18 laps today. And you know, it's always going to come down to who's the last man standing. In the early parts of the season, B Dragon Sonic's unbelievable consistency put him in the position where he is right now, but he hasn't had that same run of luck. The 2 men he's fighting for the title against, they both have 2 wins. This is going to be something like we've never really seen before in the ERL A1 Grand Prix World Cup of Motorsport. You're going to want to stick around for this one, 100%. Up next, it's the title decider.
I just wanna dress and wine. I don't know what I would ever do, don't like to think about, cause I'm turning up the volume to 11 on the dial. You know you're more than any, you're like money on my mind. Anytime I think about you, I just wanna dress and wine. I don't know what I would ever do, don't like to think about, cause I'm turning up the volume to 11 on it.
Touching down for the title decider here in Indy, Revo on pole from B Dragon Sonic and Nicolas Palomino. Team Spain holding on to P3 in points. Ezra is 4th from Falstad, who's down in 5th. Sanchez is 6th from Sparks YT 15. Bevanis Jr., brilliant qualifying from him to be 8th from Yua Puff and Hunlan Phi. Then it's Guillermo Perez, O'Quee in 12th from Matthew Hart and Remy Lebeau. 15th place seed Sebastian Ocampo, followed up by UK Ball winner in Australia, Francis Austin, starts 17th from Babner Senior and Daniel Botasarov. The red tail was 20th from the back row of Lam Fong and Jensen Olsen. Well, we started this back on December 15th. It's now Christmas Day. Can Revo steal the title? All 5 lights go on. And the final A1GP race is underway. And it's a great start from UK Ball off the line. B-Dragon Sonic not getting the acceleration or the traction he needed. So Revo already up into the championship winning position that he needs to be in on this opening lap. B-Dragon Sonic on the outside. Can't make a move through there. He's being pressured by Nicholas Palomino already side by side, and the Spaniard is challenging for the lead. Look at Palomino go coming through turn 2. Side by side everyone is. I'm sure we're going to get a lot of the time mode moves made. This is pack racing in the ERL. Not something that you often see. It's usually reserved for this track. But they're all still side by side. Look at the Team Spain man off the track. Goes basically everyone. And Revo holding on to the race lead by the skin of his teeth. Look at everyone just challenging him already on this opening lap. That's Oscar Falstad moving up into P3. B-Dragon Sonic just going backwards on this opener. And for the man who leads the points by only 2, this is a torrid start for him. Oinfo Ezra actually showing some good pace, some good pace management rather on those mediums. And Palomino having such a good start on the medium tires as well. Attack mode is online. And Revo is certainly going to come under threat immediately. Look at Falstad looking as if he could try and thread the needle and go past Palomino in that Team Spain car. Heading down the back straight, the only place on this track where you can use attack mode. And I think we know who's got the race lead now. The Season 4 IndyCar Series champion hits the front. Palomino from Revo and Falstad. And Falstad going side by side. A reminder, this race offers double points. 50 points for first, 40 points for second, 30 for third, and so on and so forth. And that's why Falstad is mainly more of a title threat than he was before. Because if Falstad was to win this race and B-Dragon Sonic was third, if it wasn't a double points race as we're now on to lap 3, Falstad would have no hope of winning the title. But if it's that finishing order today, Oscar could take the title, and for Revo, it's going to be so much easier. He could finish 10th, as he now takes the lead. He could finish 10th, and if B-Dragon Sonic doesn't score any points, he will win the championship on countback. Palomino still leading the field as Falstad now in second. Side by side going through the chicane, and still not really giving him too much more worry than he already had. Falstad was the fastest second sector and now hits the front. Tire strategy could be interesting today. A lot of the field starting this race on the softs, and that seems to have helped them in terms of that faster start. But Palomino, Sanchez, Yua Puff, those guys all on the mediums. As we'll now see the fastest lap set by Oscar Falstad with 14 laps to go. Here comes Palomino side by side. That's with B-Dragon Sonic, who's made his way back up into second. This is the thing about pack racing in the ERL as Sparks YC15 comes into the pits. Everyone's so close together, you can drop to about 10th and you can still make your way back up to second within a lap. That is the beauty of pack racing, in my opinion. Quee with a track limits warning further back. That's his first of the day. Palomino looking for a way to try and get past Falstad, and I think he's got the move done. He is back in front. I think Nicholas Palomino is going to be a surefire candidate for victory today. And for Team Scotland, by the way, guys, Yua Puff down in 5th. Scotland yet to win a race in the A1 Grand Prix, and they're not looking as if they've got the pace to do so today. Few drivers started this race on the hards, those being Babner Senior and Sebastian Ocampo, as B-Dragon Sonic struggling to make his way past. It's Revo who leads this race from Nicholas Palomino and B-Dragon Sonic, but look at the state of those soft compound tyres. Everyone's going to be struggling with those. In the prior 9 races, all of them have had at least one incident happen due to tyre problems. And for U-Cable, he knows what they're like, but he's been given a track limits warning. There goes the Nigerian. For the first time, he hits the front. But honestly, I think for all of these drivers, they know for a fact, as long as their tyre strategy is fine, and as long as they don't get a penalty or anything like that, it's all going to come down to the final 3 laps. This opening stint is just pure, hard, close pack racing as that's close to the tyre barrier for B-Dragon Sonic. Everyone coming in. Oinkro Ezra now leads a third of the way through this race. Matthew Hart, he hasn't been this high up in the order all season long. Look at Matthew with the run, with the lead. Finally, Team Scotland reclaim the race lead. And at any stage, Matthew Hart, I believe that's the first time he's actually led a race. That's very unbelievable for that to happen down to tyre strategy. Ezra coming back at him as Rene LeBeau and Sebastian Ocampo fighting over the final position in the top 3. Ezra reclaims the lead for Team Nigeria, and I wonder if his game plan is going to be to back up the pack. Well, you can't really do that because everyone's already flying. The slipstream is so very advantageous around here. And that's Volstad up in 6th. Where is B-Dragon Sonic? He's outside of the top 10. He's down in 12th, by the way. Quee getting a track limits warning, I believe that was. Sanchez moves up into 6th as Palomino with a track limits warning of his own. We're on to lap 7 of 18. Bob DeSar with a track limits warning. Everyone getting track limits, and it's all down at turn 2, I believe. And here comes Palomino, going side by side with Revo as B-Dragon Sonic not being able to include himself into a small battle here. Out of the pits comes Matthew Hart, he's 13th. And is that damage for Lam Thong? Is it? I think it could be. Team orders down at Team Nigeria, allowing B-Dragon Sonic past Oinkro Ezra. Ezra probably knows that's not his race. His teammate is going for the championship, so what he can do is help his teammate win the championship and help his team win the team's championship as well. Perez with a track limits warning as this is the fight for third, the net race lead effectively, and that's a side swipe and a half from Daf Sanchez. My goodness, that is some robust defense. And I don't know if that's actually worked too well for him because Volstad's still on the back of him and neither of them thankfully getting damaged. That right there is your fight for the lead effectively as Babinas Sr. and Ocampo both dive down into the pits. Volstad side by side with Daf Sanchez, who holds the race lead with 10 laps to go. Babinas Jr. with the fastest third sector of anyone. They're going side by side, coming through turn 1. Volstad with the inside, so that's going to be the easiest pass that you can make around this track. Oscar Volstad takes the lead and is in prime position to take the championship. But Sanchez, he's not having any of this. He knows how to take a win around here for sure. He hasn't done it himself, but he knows what it takes, so he now leads. Ezra is now 6th in front of his teammate, B-Dragon Sonic. As it stands, I believe that Revo would be your champion. If my mathematics are correct, Revo is currently scoring 24 points to Volstad's 40. That's a 16-point margin. That's a 16-point margin. They're still outscoring B-Dragon Sonic enough to overtake him in points, but not anymore as Volstad comes in. That moves B-Dragon Sonic up into 5th position. 20 points being scored for that place today compared to Revo's 30. Still going to be a title loss. He needs to pick up the pace. Meanwhile, Revo moves up into 2nd. This man is flying. That is exactly what Revo needs to do. As Team Nigeria having a bit of an infight with each other. That is not what they want to see. Because if they are only able to infight, that just means that they haven't really set up the car in the correct conditions for the second half of this race. We're on lap 9. We're going to start lap 10 in mere seconds. With Daf Sanchez, your leader, coming into the pits. So Revo will now take over the race lead. 50 points for first, remember. The Dragon Sonic dives down into the pits as well. That is big news, because that means I don't think, at the very least, that Team Nigeria believe that they can move any further up the order than 4th. They are capping themselves at 24 points. 24 points compared to the 50 that Revo could get, compared to the 50 that I believe that Falstad could still get. Here comes Palomino to try and take the lead away from Revo, and he gets it done quite swiftly. Very nice move from the IndyCar champion. Yet to take a win in Formula E, but surely he'll get it soon. U-Cable runs in 9th position right now. He's had worse days as there goes the Dragon Sonic giving his old World 500 and Race of Champions teammate spots Y215 just a little bit of a wave as they head through the chicane. On to lap 11 as Ocampo on the back of race leader Oinkro Ezra, and Oinkro actually running a very good race today. Top 5 effectively all day as Ocampo gets past him. I think this man might be on for, at worst, a good points finish, possibly a top 5. I could see Ezra scoring second today. I just have a hunch that the champion is going to win this race. Meanwhile, still going side by side, and the race lead is reclaimed for the Nigerian as Remy LeBeau looking for a way to move up into second. And he just can't find it. Meanwhile, I've said meanwhile quite a bit today, haven't I? There is Falstad moving in front of Das Sanchez. Prix going side by side. Not anymore with Revo and Palomino. This is a three-way fight for 10th place. Off the track and almost contacts. Kept it as clean as they possibly could though. 6 to go with 66% of the race done. Ocampo going side by side with Oinkro. And he's taken the lead as many drivers coming into the pits, including Badness Senior and U-Cable. But in terms of your title bout, the man who leads them all is Oscar Falstad. He scores, if it were to finish as is, a very nice 20 points. But with Revo in 7th and scoring 16, the Italian would be your series champion. Oinkro Ezra, by the way, continuing to lead this race. It's not enough to get his team the points lead, or the points championship in fact, in the nation standings, but still a very good showing from Oinkro Ezra as Oqui still struggling to fight with Palomino. It seems that Team Netherlands car hasn't been the fastest all season long as Remy LeBeau and Lam Phong all come into the pits. It's almost crunch time today here in Indianapolis as Revo going side by side with Nicholas, heading down into turn number 1. It's a very fast right-hand corner where the inside line is everything, as we've already seen 13 times before today. Palomino reclaims 4th position from Revo, but they're still going side by side. He just about holds on. It's going to come down to attack mode as B Dragon Sonic has moved up into 6th. That is not quite title winning position for the Nigerian. That's not quite the title winning position he needs as Revo now moves up into 4th. The Dragon Sonic, he cannot afford to lose anything at this stage. There's nothing that he can lose. He's got everything to lose, everything to gain, everything to lose for the Team Nigeria man, as we've got yellows in the second sector. What is that for? Is that Francis Austin having issues? It isn't. So what was that for? Someone must have gone off the track into the pits for Badness Jr. Wouldn't be surprised if he had something to do with it. Oh, U-Cable's got front wing damage. So he's gone off. Down at the chicane, it seems, and that is just the story of Team England's ERL tenure here in the A1 Grand Prix World Cup of Motorsport. As there goes Revo past Nicholas, up into 2nd position, securing 40 points if we were to finish as is. with 4 laps to go. This is the Italian's championship to lose at the stage. Shockingly enough, he came into this race 2 points back. With the double points that we have today, a 2-point margin might as well be level on points. Meanwhile, B-Dragon Sonic from 4th comes in. He's got Palomino and I believe Revo in front of him as well. And it's Daph Sanchez, so Sebastian Ocampo will take over the race lead from Matthew Hart. We truly are in the closing stages of this season as a whole. It's coming out of the pits. And everyone there is that. Falstad in front of Revo. It is. I think Falstad could be a bit of a sleeper hit for the championship right now as B-Dragon Sonic coming out of the pits. He's only 14th. He's nowhere near close enough to get to the points at this stage, considering the top brass are likely not coming in. As 5-second time penalty for Matthew Hart as Ocampo just swoops across the side of him as if he wasn't even there. Thankfully, neither of them hitting the wall. Could be big problems for both cars though. Falstad with a track limits warning. That's his second of this race. As we go on to begin lap 16 of 18. 2 to go as Babinis Sr. comes into the pits. Perez with a track limits warning. Matthew Hart running up in 3rd. That's the best he's ever run across his career, I believe. I think he could be on for a good top 3 finish, at least by the flag, but he's been passed by Remy Lebeau. And the top guys have actually done 1 stop less than a lot of the other drivers, so there is the issue of the potential tire degradation drop-off of the highest heavens. Oh! Revo's got a puncture! No way! He had the title wrapped around his finger. B-Dragon Sonic goes right past him. And the championship outlook has changed for the worse for the Italian driver. Can he get his way to the field? No! Hitting the back, and that is out of the race. And out of the championship hunt for Revo. Full course caution on the penultimate lap of this race. With B-Dragon Sonic now not scoring any points. All Falstad has to do right now is finish this, score 20 points, and he can be champion. Heck, he could finish 6th actually and still get it done, I believe, as we're back under the green flags. And Ocampo very much dropping off the back of Oinkro. I think Ezra's got this race won. And considering that Austin isn't scoring any points, this could be Team Nigeria's World Championship here. This could be everything that Ezra has ever wanted. His heart still struggling with Remy Lebeau as we go on to begin the final lap of the A1 Grand Prix World Cup of Motorsport. We started this world tour in the United Kingdom, and we are gonna end it in the USA. We're on to the final lap. Sanchez with a second track limits warning. Everyone going side by side. Falstad moves up to 6th. 6th place under regular conditions, scores 8 points. Under these conditions, that's 16. He was 18 points down heading into this race. That's a 2-point margin of deficit. As there goes Matthew Hart's rear. This man has had 0 luck with the tyres. And that lack of luck continues. This could be the championship for Falstad though. If he can just stay ahead of Sanchez, and he can't, he has to drop behind him. We get a caution, this could be it. This could be over, and it will be over. Team Nigeria, your team's champions. Oinkro Ezra coming to the line as his teammate gets a time penalty and a slide job. Oinkro Ezra is a race winner in the A1GP. And for Oscar Falstad, they are monitoring that gap like a hawk. Full course caution comes out. He needs to be within 5 seconds of Daph Sanchez, or else Team Nigeria are double champions He comes across the line. And with a margin of 5.5 seconds, Volstad is 6th. We're on board with the A1GP champion as he comes across the line. And with a dinged up car, so much damage, as we're back under the green flags, we know our champion, B-Dragon Sonic, is your A1GP 2025 World Drivers Champion. With no points scored in the last round, a 5-second time penalty to his name that will keep him in 11th. That's certainly one way to win a championship. And here is your podium. Onkro Ezra taking victory from Sebastian Ocampo and Remy Lebeau. Remy finally finding some luck. We're going to take a quick listen to the Nigerian national anthem. On the other side, a review of the final few laps. And here is the 16th lap Revo, of course, with that puncture. That took him out of race-winning contention, but if they were able to repair that car, it wouldn't have been too bad. Unfortunately, Babinus Jr. and Guillermo Perez took Revo out of the title picture entirely. Matthew Hart then had a puncture on the final lap of the race from 3rd. Volstad coming up to him, fighting with Sanchez, and he got stuck behind the Team Scotland driver. That took Volstad down to 6th, but it wasn't over. He still could have gotten the championship if he stayed within the margin with Sanchez. B-Dragon Sonic running into the back of the Scotsman. That Volstad wasn't in reach anymore. And that led to only one outcome. The Nigerian driver becoming the 2025 A1GP World Champion. And here are your title contenders and the title picture as a whole. B-Dragon Sonic taking the championship by 2 points as we now listen to the Nigerian national anthem. Once again, another amazing A1GP race. Here comes the race results of round 10. Oinko Ezra getting victory from Ocampo and Remy LeBeau, with Fong being 4th from Sanchez and Falstad, who took the fastest lap on his route to P6. The Red Devil was 7th from Palomino, Hui, and Sparks YT15. And your world champion finished 11th. Here are the final points standings. B Dragon Sonic, your champion, by only 2 points in front of Revo and Falstad. Revo getting that second position by the virtue of the fact that he has a 3rd place finish. And your team's championship, Team Nigeria taking it by just 10 points. That win for Oinko Ezra gave Team Nigeria the championship in its entirety. And with that, the A1GP World Cup of Motorsport ends on Sparkplug Motorsport in 2025. It's been an amazing year for this channel, an amazing 10 race stretch, an amazing 11 days in fact of racing in the A1GP. A new champion crowned, and just unbelievable scenes all throughout. And just to mention those point standings again, Ocampo being 4th without any wins. He ends the season just 20 points up on Oinko Ezra. Palomino coming home with a P6 without any wins as well. Austin 7th with a win. Perez, Sparks dropping down to 9th after winning that first race though. That's something that we didn't expect to see. And only one man scored 0 points across the A1GP. He had 5 retirements, and that's Matthew Hart. That's probably going to hit quite hard for him. But from all of us here at Sparkplug Motorsports, thank you for watching, and we will see you next time when the ERL returns.